Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers. Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. A hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a light classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session,
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Just let me know. Okay, and how is my internet? Am I clearly audible to you guys? All right. Okay, so yesterday somebody asked me, so why Ethereum price is much lower as compared to Bitcoin? Okay, and I told yesterday that Ethereum has a deflationary model. Sorry, Ethereum has an inflationary model as compared to Bitcoin, which follows a deflationary model. So now what's the difference? The difference is that when we talk about Bitcoin, Bitcoin has a limited supply of 21 million coin. Okay, it has a limited supply of 21 million coins. So that's why it's a deflationary model. Why? Because after a time there will be a time when there will be no Bitcoin. Okay, there will be no Bitcoin. And we also know that after every 4 year the Bitcoin reward is being reduced by half. Suppose if you are a miner and if you currently mine a Bitcoin, you will be getting 3.152 Bitcoin till 2028. Okay, after 2028 if you mine it, you will be getting 3.152 divided by 2. Okay, so this deflationary model creates a scarcity in the market. Okay, so more scarcity means more value. So that's why Bitcoin price is really going up high. Okay. But when we talk about Ethereum, when we come to Ethereum, Ethereum doesn't have this deflationary model. Instead, Ethereum follows a inflationary model. That means, that means it's theoretically that it's right now the supply of Ethereum is theoretically unlimited. It's infinite. It doesn't have any it doesn't have any limited supply. Okay. So that's why it is not creating a scarcity in the market. Okay. So that's the reason Ethereum is much slow as compared to Bitcoin. Nilesh, we just started. We just started. Let me just check. Nilesh, I was explaining that when we talk about Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin has a deflationary model. That means its supply is limited, which is 21 million coin. That means forever, for its entire life, only 21 million coin will be generated. And I also told you that after every 4 year, this reward is being reduced by half. Suppose if you are miner, if you mine it right now in 2025, you'll be getting 3.15 to approx Bitcoin. But if you do after 2028, you will be getting 3.15 to divided by 2. Okay, it could be around 3.7 something. All right. So after every 4 year, Bitcoin reward is being reduced to half. So that creates a scarcity. Oh, that's limited. Okay, so that creates a value. That creates a value of Bitcoin. But on the other hand, when we see Ethereum, Ethereum follows a inflationary model. Inflationary. That means their limited supply is not like Bitcoin. Theoretically, it's infinite. It's infinite. There is no limited supply in Ethereum. By time, they will supply more Ether. Ether is the cryptocurrency of Ethereum. Okay. And I also told you that Bitcoin's work is solely for a transaction purpose. I mean, not for a normal exchange purposes. Okay. It was purely a kind of currency. But when we talk about Ethereum, so Ethereum said that we are not here just to be a currency. We are here so that people, okay, people or the organizations, the companies, they can adopt Ethereum and create their own decentralized solution. Okay, a decentralized solution. All right. Suppose if I take an example of a decentralized application, let's take a voting system. Let's take a voting system based on a decentralized network. Okay, just imagine it. Just imagine it. Okay. Now we are, let's say, n number of Indians. We are n number of Indians. Okay, we are n number n. Okay, n number of Indians, and we all are connected using blockchain technology. Okay, now when voting happens, suppose a person living in Jammu and Kashmir, and there's another guy who is living in, let's say, Kanyakumari. They both are connected to each other. Okay, they both are connected to each other. Okay, now what will happen is I'll share my whiteboard. I think it's visible. So suppose this is a person who lives in J&K. He voted for a party, let's say party A. Now we have to make this data what? Hidden data. So let's say we hashed it. Suppose the hash is ABCD. Okay. Suppose the hash is ABCD. All right. So this guy who belongs to JNK, he voted for this party, he or she. Now suppose another guy who is from Tamil Nadu. Okay. Let's say he voted for party B, and suppose it is XYZ. Okay, it's hidden. But again, if GNK person, if GNK guy voted for a party, now everybody in the India, n minus one people will get to know that a person who is living in Jammu and Kashmir has voted for someone. They will not be able to get person's name or the party he or she voted. What matter is that yes, that person voted. Okay. Similarly, for that person who is in Tamil Nadu and for every Indian citizen. Okay. Now what happened is suppose this person who lives in JNK tried to manipulate the data or tried to change the data. So what will happen? Everybody in India, n minus one people in India will get to know that yeah, there's been a tampering in the data. There's been a tampering in the data. Okay. So this is how we can create a transparency system. even for corruption, we can use blockchain. Okay, where everything, what activities politicians are doing, everything is recorded on blockchain, making it transparent for for the Indian citizens, so they can easily, okay, look upon their politician. Okay, so these are the decentralized application that was supposed to that, I mean, that are created on Ethereum. So Ethereum was here to develop decentralized application, dApps. In short form, we call it as dApps. Okay. Now with the same idea, more cryptocurrency evolved, like Solana, Algorand, Avalanche, and we have Cosmos. Okay. They are, I mean, if you use them, you can create your own decentralized applications. Okay. You can create your own decentralized applications, right? So that's the basic difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, their purpose are totally different. But yeah, the technology is same, which is the blockchain technology. Cool. Okay. Yes, Naresh, you can easily send your sell your bitcoins, okay, to any exchange. All right. So yesterday we covered consensus mechanism, because in a decentralized network, we need something to control, right? Not to control, but we need something to run the government, run the blockchain, right? So this consensus mechanisms work here. So we have seen proof of work, proof of stake, delegated proof of stake, then proof of authority, proof of meaningful work. Okay, so there are various. There are more than 75, and you will find various a different name, but the purpose are same. Like I told you, useful proof of work and proof of meaningful work, both are same. Okay, but the thing is, it's not standardized sum. Okay, it's not something which is standardized. So if a new blockchain is, suppose I came up with a blockchain with my own, let's say with my own idea, and I created a consensus mechanism for it. It could be a chance that my consensus mechanism could be an idea of another person as well, right? So we can have different name, okay. Similarly, there are various that have the same working. Okay, now let's move forward. We have seen the working of blockchain system, I guess it's clear. Okay, if I talk about life cycle of a transaction, so first the transactions are created, transactions are done, then they are transmitted, and they are stored in everybody's computer in the RAM, which is known as the memory pool or the transaction pool. Okay, once the block is created, inclusion in the block, then block is transmitted, then block validation is done, and finally addition to the ledger. Okay, case study of Bitcoin. I think we have already understood why Bitcoin came as a solution for the financial crisis of 2008. If you are new, just visit the first lecture. Okay, I told about the financial crisis that happened in 2008 and how Bitcoin was a solution. Okay, how it proposed a solution for it. Okay, let's read it again, no problem. Bitcoin was introduced in 2008 by an anonymous entity known as Satoshi Nakamoto in a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system similar to a physical cash system. Nakamoto outlined a vision for a decentralized digital currency that would allow secure, direct transactions without relying on central authority. See, main focus of blockchain is to remove centralized bodies, remove any intermediary. Okay. Purpose. The primary purpose of Bitcoin was to create a decentralized form of money that could operate independently of traditional financial institutions. This was particularly relevant in the wake of 2008 financial crisis, which exposed the vulnerabilities of centralized banking systems. Bitcoin aimed to provide an alternative that was transparent, that was secure, that was resilient against economic turmoil. Okay. Native currency, we know that Bitcoin has the native currency by the name Bitcoin only, or in the short form BTC. Okay. It serves as a unit of account. It serves as a unit of account. It has a unit. Okay, if I have an address, so my address is linked with a unit. So what is that unit? It could be a value, let's say 2 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin. Even if you see a physical money, that it's just a paper, it's just a paper. Okay, but if it's holding a 500, so it's a unit of what? My account. Okay, and it's a medium of exchange. Okay, BTC is used to reward miners who validate transactions and secure the network, and it is traded on various cryptocurrency exchanges. Now this data is old. Bitcoin matrices, price, market capitalization, volume. This data is old because this document I created last year. Okay, so you guys can go to this website. Again, the same website I told you, Blockchain Explorer. Okay, you can find out the data here. You can go to Bitcoin. You can see all the economics related to Bitcoin. Right now it is okay, more than 1 lakh dollar. Okay, you can see volume. Volume means how much Bitcoin is traded in a particular time. Right now here it is showing 24 hour. Volume per market capitalization, 24-hour change. Okay, 1 hour change, 24 high. What was the highest value? Okay, in the last 24 hour, what was the lowest value? Circulating supply. See, right, the maximum supply is 21 million. From now, I mean, right now, 19.919 are already minted or already mined. Okay, it uses algorithm SHA-256. Genesis block date, the first block. Okay, so you'll find everything here. Working of Bitcoin, I already told you, it works on proof of work. Okay, but what is the transaction model that Bitcoin uses? What is the transaction model that Bitcoin uses? Okay, before let's see the Bitcoin halving. Okay, so I told you, what is a Bitcoin halving? After every 4 year, the reward is reduced to half. Bitcoin supply is limited to 21 million BTC. To control the issuance rate, the network undergoes a process called halving approximately every 4 years. During a halving event, the reward for mining a new block is cut in half. Okay, this reduces the rate at which new bitcoins are created, adding scarcity and potentially increasing the value of it. The final BTC is expected to be mined around the year 2040. Now you guys can imagine, it started in 2009 and we are living in 2025, and it reached more than 90%, I guess, 19.9 million out of 21. And still it is expected the final year is 2140, because again, after every 4 it's being reduced to half. So there will be 0.00001 Bitcoin when you will be mining it. Okay, so the final expected year is 2140. Now let's talk about transaction record keeping model. Very, very important topic. And most of the time asked during the interviews as well. Transaction record keeping models. Transactions record keeping model. How exactly we are recording the transactions? Now first is known as UTXO. UTXO model. Its full form is unspent transaction output. In blockchain, we write transaction as TXN, okay, unspent transaction output. This is the full form of it. I'll explain. Okay. Second is known as account-based model. Account of balance. Account of balance based model. Third is known as hybrid model. Okay. Now let's understand them. So UTXO model is also known as what do I call it? Yeah, it is also known as token based model. Why token based? So for that, I'll take an example, guys. Listen to this very carefully. Suppose I went for shopping. I went for shopping. Okay, I went for shopping, and my bill came out to be, let's say, 450 rupees. My bill came out to be 450 rupees. Okay, now I have a 500 rupee note. I have a 500 rupee note. I'm not doing online. I'm not using UPI. I have a cash which is a 500 rupee note. So what I'll do? What I'll do? I cannot I cannot take 450 rupees out of 500, right? So what I'll do? I'll directly handle 500 rupee note to the shopkeeper. Okay. So now what shopkeeper will do? Shopkeeper will give me 50 rupees back as a change. Right? Right? So this is known as a token based model, because you can imagine a 500 rupee note as a token. Okay. Now if I'm paying someone 500 rupee note, but the balance or the amount is 450 rupees, the shopkeeper will give me 50 rupees back as a change. Okay, so that is what a UTXO model is. It totally works like a physical cash system. UTXO model. Okay, I think no doubt here. We'll understand what is this unspent transaction output, but let's understand what exactly this model is. Okay, so it's like a token based model, like a physical cash system. You can imagine 450, 500 rupees as a token. Okay, now I'm getting 50 rupee token back as a change. So that's a UTXO model. Now, when we talk about this account based model or account balance based model, so you can imagine it as a credit card system or a debit card system or a UPI system. Okay, now I'll take the example again. Suppose the bill was 450 rupees, and let's say I now want to pay it using UPI. What I'll do? I'll just directly type 450 rupees and I'll do the payment, right? I'll just directly type 450 rupees and I will do the payment. You guys can see there's a difference between both the payments. UTXO model, I have to pay 500 rupee as a whole. Okay, because you cannot separate 450 from 500. But in this account based model, account of balance based model, which works in the credit card system, debit card system, or the UPI, okay, here we can directly enter the value which we want to pay and we can do the payment. Okay. So that is known as account based model or account of balance based model. Because suppose if I'm sending that person 450 rupees, so that's not an actual transaction which is taking place. What's happening is my bank will reduce minus 450. They will just reduce, or they will just deduct minus 450 from my bank, and recipient bank will just add 450 to the recipient's account. This is what's happening. And this is known as settlement. This is known as settlement. Okay. Settlement and reconciliation. Okay. Reconciliation when interbank transactions are happened. Suppose bank A got a total of 1,000, let's say 1,000 crore, because people are using it. Okay. So now they have to transfer it to in the bank 2 or bank B. Okay. So this is known as settlement. And why settlement is should be instantaneous? It should be instantaneous. Suppose I have 10,000 rupees in my account. I gave someone 5,000 rupees. But let's say my bank didn't updated it. My bank didn't do the settlement. So what my account will show it will still show 10,000. Okay. Okay. So that's not a right thing. We have to do everything instantaneously. So settlement should be instant. Okay. So this account balance based model work in same way. All right. Now, if I take the example of UTXO model, so example is Bitcoin. Example is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin uses this UTXO model. Okay. Now, account-based model is used by Ethereum. Another difference. Now you got another difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. That Bitcoin uses UTXO transaction record keeping model. On the other hand, Ethereum uses account balance based model. Okay, so that's another difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So again, suppose I have to pay someone 11 Bitcoin, but I have 6 Bitcoin, then I have 8 Bitcoin. So what I'll do, I'll add them. Sorry, I'll not add them. I have 6 Bitcoin because it's a token. I have 8 Bitcoin. They are tokens, right? They are not, they are tokens like a 100 rupee note and a 500 rupee note. Both are different. Both are different, right? Similarly, if I have a 6 Bitcoin and a 8 Bitcoin, both are different. Okay, both are different token. Now, suppose the payment is 11 Bitcoin. Payment is, let's say, 11 Bitcoin. So what I'll do, I'll send 6 Bitcoin and 8 Bitcoin both, which is now 14 Bitcoin. Okay. And the payment was 11 Bitcoin. So the remaining 3 Bitcoin will be given back to me. Now I'll be having a new token which is 3 Bitcoin. So it's really flexible here. It's really flexible. Okay, it's not like we have a limited like a 100 rupee note, a 10 rupee note, a 20 rupee note. Okay, it could be a 500 rupee. It's not like that here. A token or can be of any value. Suppose a token could be of 21. It could be of 0.5 token also. Okay, so that is known as, I mean, that is why Bitcoin uses a UTXO model similar to the physical cash system. And that's why they have mentioned in their white paper a peer to peer electronic cash system. Exactly like a physical cash system, but more flexible. Okay, more flexible. In real world, if they don't have change, what they do? They give us toffee, right? They give us toffee. I usually take Melody. It's my favorite. But here they it's not an option to give you toffees. Okay, so they have to pay. They have to pay. I mean, it could be of any token now. I think it's clear to everyone. Okay, UTXO works similar like a physical cash system where we give back as a change. Okay, now this hybrid model is your homework, guys. I'll tell you the blockchain which is using it, but you have to read about it. Example is Cardano. This is also a blockchain, a wonderful blockchain. I researched on this a lot and invested money, but it failed. I know why it went to downfall, but it one of the prominent blockchain projects I have seen. Okay, but again, it's all about entertainment. What people are liking, they are liking meme coins and everything. Okay, but it's a really good blockchain, Cardano. Okay, so it uses this hybrid model, both UTXO and account based. Okay, so this is your homework, guys. Just write it. This is your homework. Okay, I think it's clear the difference between UTXO and account based. Okay, if it's really trouble understanding, just imagine UTXO as a physical cash, account based like a UPI system. Okay, so if you go here, see I've written here. I think you guys can read it. Okay, I'll read it for you. Bitcoin uses the unspent transaction output UTXO model for transaction record keeping. Okay, now imagine you have a wallet full of coins. Just focus here right now. Imagine you have a wallet full of coins. Each coin has a specific value. For example, you might have one coin of, let's say, worth $5, two coins of worth 10 each, and one coin worth $20. So how much you are having? 20, 20, 40, 45. Okay, 45 you have total. Okay, but they are different. Five coin is different from two coins that of $10, and there's a one coin that belongs to $20. Now, when you want to buy something that costs $15, you can't split a coin, right? You can't split a coin. Instead, you pick the coins that together make up at least $15. So what you can do? You can take a 10 coin and a 5 coin. Okay? Or suppose if you want to uh, gain more change, so what you can do? You can directly pay $20 and they will give you $5 as a change. Okay, so it's what I have written it here. In this case, if you could use the $20 coin, you give the $20 coin to the seller and they give you back $5 as a change. Okay. Now in this model, there are two things: inputs and outputs. Inputs and outputs. Now for that, we have to understand it. What are inputs and outputs here? Okay. So let's go back to whiteboard and try to understand on how exactly unspent transaction output was the name given to it. Okay. Let me just take some doubt. Uh, Vinod sir, Dr. Vinod sir, it's already available on LMS. You can take it. Okay, Nilesh, I won't there is any possibility of race condition that you solve the puzzle and publish at the. Yes, Nilesh, we'll come to that. This is known as, I mean, this concept is known as the longest chain rule. I'll come to that. Okay. I'm not able to access in LMS. Okay. Okay, let me ask management and then I'll come to you. You solve the puzzle and you publish at the same time. Yeah, Nilesh, we'll come to this concept which is known as the longest chain rule. Okay. That is why we had RTGS, but now due to UPI things, we have it's changed. Um, Zena, were you there in the previous class when I was telling you about wallet? In the last session, we discussed what wallets are. Were you there? I mean, last Friday. Were you there? Oh, okay. Is there anybody else who wants to understand wallet? And but we can send decimal Bitcoin. Yes, yes, we can send decimal Bitcoin. They are like a tokens. Okay, so you must be having that decimal Bitcoin. Okay, every unit represents a token here. It could be 0.00001 Bitcoin also. It could be 0.1. It could be 1. It could be 100. It could be 200. Okay. Yeah, Vinod, so it depends. It depends on how you are getting back as a change. Okay, suppose I want to do a payment, let's say 15.000001, but I have, let's say, 16 Bitcoin. So I'll pay 16 Bitcoin as a whole. And now if you can subtract it, so I'll be getting 0.00001 Bitcoin as a change. Now that will be my token. Okay, that will be my token now. Okay. See, Zainab, in a very short, like I told you, I don't have my diary right now. I told you, right, I am having 16,000 worth of Solana. So where I have stored it, I don't have my copy. Suppose this is a copy. Suppose this is a copy. I know it's not a copy. My my 16,000 worth of Solana stored inside my diary. So my diary acts as a wallet because wallet is nothing. See, in the physical world, we have a wallet, but that wallet's actually stored physical coins or physical money. But I told you, coin is nothing. Coin is just a representation of your private key or public key. Okay, if you have taken the class of cryptography. So your coin is just a representation of your digital signature, just your private key. So if I have a private key, if I'm writing on a piece of paper or in my diary becomes a wallet because a wallet means a wallet is a place. It's a storage which stores my private or a public key, which stores my public and private key. Okay. So wallet is nothing. Wallet is just a digital tool where it manages your public and private key and it also monitors the balance. Okay. And I think I've show you guys here. I'll show this website again, bitaddress.org. So just do this. They create a random number by if you click on this. I mean, if you just hover on their website, you can see the green dots. So it's just a method of creating a random value. I'll show it. So this is your wallet. Now, Zainab, you just have to take a screenshot of it or just take a physical printout of it. You can see there's an option of print because it holds your public key and a private key. This is very important. Private key. Now, like if I have shared with you guys, so I will not use this private key. Okay, because private key belongs to me, it belongs to nobody else. So what I'll do, you can go to this paper wallet as well. Just take a screenshot of it or just take a printout of it. So if you guys, if I zoom it into in more, so we can see we have a private key here and we have a public key or the Bitcoin address. I also told you public key is just an address in Bitcoin or in the cryptocurrency because blockchain is for everyone. Everybody don't understand what a public key is, right? So we have, I mean, not us, the experts have taken a word which is, which everybody knows. So address, what do you mean by address? If I want to send you a parcel, so I will need your address, right? Now, if you remember in cryptography, if I want to send you a message, what I'll need? I'll need your public key. I'll need your public key to encrypt the message. That means public key can be taken as an address. That if I want to send you something, I need your public key. I need your address. So experts gave it as a what? Address, so that everybody can understand. Okay, so Bitcoin address is just your public key. And this private key is very secret. So if you guys can see L4DAZ, so it's a private key. So I've written it on my it's in my diary. This private key depicts my 16,000 worth of Solana. So that's a wallet. Wallet is a tool that stores your public and private key that also monitors your balance. Suppose I have two tokens. One is of 2 Bitcoin, another is of 4 Bitcoin. So monitor the balance means how much I have, 6 Bitcoin. But this 6 Bitcoin is not a single token. This 6 Bitcoin is distributed into two tokens, 4 Bitcoin and a 2 Bitcoin. I hope you are guys, I hope you guys are getting it. So I have 2 BTC and a 4 BTC. But if somebody asks me, how much do you have? So I will say 6 Bitcoin. This is what we do in traditional world. Suppose when we go to a trip with our friends, they ask how much money you are holding. So what I will do, we check our wallet, a 500 rupee, a 500. So I'll say I have 1,000 rupees. I have 1,000 rupees. Okay, but if someone asks how many notes of 500 you are holding or how many notes of 100 you are holding, so that's different. 500 rupee note token and a 500 rupee note token becomes 1,000. Okay, so balance you have to give it as an aggregate amount, which is by adding every token you have. So I have added 2 plus 4. So I will say I have 6 Bitcoin. I will not say I have a 2 Bitcoin and I have a 4 Bitcoin. Okay, this is what I'll not, this is what I'll not say. Okay, I hope it's clear now. It's clear? Is it clear, Zenam and everyone? Just let me know. It's clear? Okay, Zenam. Now let's understand UTXO model. Okay, just give me 2 minutes, guys. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm just coming. And one more thing, please go through the previous sessions, okay? Because digital wallet is a big concept. I mean, I have included more things as well. Okay, and when once you receive this book, okay, everything is written here. Okay, because then like I told you, in my diary, so it is known as a cold wallet. Cold means when it is not connected to internet. My wallet is not connected, it's my in my diary, but we have other wallets like MetaMask. MetaMask is connected to internet, so that is known as a hot wallet. Hot means connected to internet, cold means not connected to internet. Okay, all right. So I'm rubbing this thing. Okay, now let's understand the working of UTXO model. I think my screen is visible. Okay. UTXO model. Before that, before that, a transaction has two stages. A transaction has two stages. Two stages of transaction. First stage is unspent and second stage is spent. I think it's clear by the word. Unspent means when you are not sending it to someone, they are just lying in your wallet. Okay. Spent means when you have sent it to someone. Okay. So a transaction can be either in one of the stages. It could be in an unspent stage and it could be a spent stage. So every unspent transaction is known as UTXO. Every unspent transaction is known as UTXO. Unspent, a transaction which is right now unspent. I am not sending it to someone else. It's just sitting idly in my wallet. Okay. Suppose I told you in my diary I have 16,000 worth of Solana. Okay. I don't know what model Solana uses, but if in case if it's Bitcoin instead of Solana, so I will say I'm having 16,000 worth of UTXO with me because I'm not sending it to someone else, just with me right now. So if a token is with me right now, if I'm not sending it, they are my UTXO. They are my UTXO. Okay. If I'm not sending it, they are in unspent stage. They are in an unspent stage. Okay. So now let's take an example. Suppose this is Alice. Alice received, let's say, 5 Bitcoin from someone, 5 BTC. As they are unspent, so they are UTXO right now. They are UTXO. So we got that U means unspent. Okay, U means unspent. TX means transaction. TX means transaction. Now we have to understand what this O is. Okay, what this O is. Okay. All right. So U means unspent. Now, suppose there's a jar. There's a glass of jar. There's a glass of jar. There's a glass of jar. Okay. Now what Alice will do? Alice will keep this 5 Bitcoin inside this jar. Alice will keep this 5 Bitcoin inside a jar. Okay. Now there's another person, Bob. Now Bob want to take this 5 Bitcoin. So what Bob will do? Bob will insert his hand inside the Bitcoin, sorry, inside the jar, and it will take out Bitcoin. I mean, it will take out 5 BTC. It will take 5 BTC. So now Bob is having 5 BTC. Now remember, now please focus. Now they are with Bob. So they will be considered as spent now. So they will not be considered your UTXO. I mean, Alice UTXO. They will not be considered as Alice UTXO. Now they will be Bob's UTXO. They will be Bob's UTXO. Okay. So now let's see it. Now let's check it again. So Alice has given input. Alice has given input as 5 Bitcoin. Alice has given Alice has given 5 Bitcoin as out input, and Bob is taking 5 Bitcoin as output. Okay, 5 Bitcoin as a output. I think you guys are now connecting it. So now if you check the full form of it, unspent, it's a transaction which is unspent. Sorry, it's the output from the previous transaction. It is the output from the previous transaction which is now in the unspent stage. I'll write it here. The output from the previous transaction which is in unspent stage. So this is how we got the word UTXO, unspent transaction output. Output from the previous transaction which is in a unspent stage. UTXO, unspent transaction output. Because this is a transaction output, right? 5 Bitcoin is a transaction output from the previous from the which comes from Alice. Because Alice has given input as 5 Bitcoin. Now Bob is receiving transaction output as 5 Bitcoin. So now this 5 Bitcoin will become UTX, or the output from the previous transaction, which is now unspent. That becomes Bob's UTXO. Now Alice this 5 Bitcoin will not be considered as will not be considered as Alice UTXO. Now it will be considered as Bob UTXO. I guess it's clear. Now it will follow again the procedure again. Suppose there's another jar. Suppose there's another jar. Okay. There's another jar. Now Bob will keep 5 Bitcoin as input. Okay. On the other hand, let's say we have Oscar. Okay. Now Oscar will receive it as an output. Okay. So now this 5 Bitcoin will become UTXO of Oscar, and it will not be considered the UTXO of Bob now. Okay. So that's what UTXO model is. I mean, the way the expert has given it a name, UTXO. I think it's clear. You guys can take a screenshot of it. So this is what a UTXO model is. Unspent transaction output. I'll write it here. So it's a unspent transaction output. It's a unspent transaction output. Okay. So this is what Bitcoin uses. Now, in future, I mean, now we'll understand what is happening inside the jar. Okay. For now, I've taken the example of jar, but slowly now let's understand what's going inside the jar. I mean, what's happening inside the jar. Okay. So just take the screenshot. Why? Because write the reason here. Wait. Don't take a screenshot. Now send to Bob. Okay. So that's why they are not UTXO. Okay. For Alice. Now, because now they are sent to Bob. Clear? Nilesh, is there any physical? No, no, there's no holding place. Okay, it's in your computer only. Okay, Manikanta, should I explain again, or it's clear now? No, Nilesh, they are not two wallets. One will or one. No, 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 no. See, it's just a concept. If they are given it to someone, then we consider it as a unspent. Sorry, suspend state. It will not be considered as. I mean, it will not be in your account anymore. So they have given it a name. It's not like that we have a two wallets, one is containing spent and other is unspent. No, 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 that's not what happened. Okay, it's just a concept where once you send it, so they are spent. If they are not spent, if you haven't spent it to someone there, then they are unspent. Okay, can you take example of 10 bitcoin and spent only 4? So that's what happens. See, if suppose the input Alice was having, let's say, 10 bitcoin. Okay, Alice is having 10 bitcoin. So right now in this condition, suppose Bob have to sorry, Alice have to pay 4 bitcoin to Bob, but Bob is having 10 bitcoin as a whole. Okay, so now once Alice will send 10 bitcoin to Bob, okay, the code now, the code, okay, the bitcoin code, it will automatically, give the change back to Alice. So Bob doesn't have to do anything. If you see in the physical world, the recipient has to give it, right? But here the recipient doesn't have to do anything. It's everything is encoded in Bitcoin. Okay, everything is encoded. So the machine, sorry, the Bitcoin software, it will automatically give the back as a change. Okay, so that's what happened here. No, 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 Janam, they are not wallets. They are not wallets. Okay, I'll come to that. Okay. Yes, it's an interface. It's an interface. It's an interface. Suppose if we want to send someone Bitcoin, so we need their address and how much we want to pay. Okay, so this is what we need, and a private key to unlock it. I'll explain. Okay, so these are not wallets. It's an interface. It's an interface. Okay, so if you want to send Bitcoin to someone, okay, Manikanta, I think is it clear to you? Yes, Dr. Vinod. They are known as Satoshis. The smallest unit of Bitcoin is known as Satoshi. Okay, because Bitcoin is really expensive. Now, if you have to say 0.000000001 Bitcoin I'm having, so instead you can say I'm having one Satoshi. It's like saying I have 1,000 centimeters, so you can say I have 1 kilometer. Sorry, this is of 1 kilometer. Okay, so yeah, Satoshi is the smallest unit of Bitcoin. Manikanta, is it clear now? All right. Okay, now let's check how exactly things work. Okay, now we'll go to the concept of cryptography again to understand the working. Okay, all right. So these are known as transaction scripts. Now write the next topic, transaction scripts. I'm rubbing this. Today I will discuss a very interesting case with you guys. It's really interesting. All right. Now we are reading transaction scripts. Very important. Okay, you will not find it. I mean, it's really difficult to find these transaction scripts to learn because it's when I was into digital forensic, when I was into crypto forensic, then I got to know about these transaction scripts. Okay, on how exactly things work. Okay, let's take an example. We have Alice. Alice have 5 BTC as UTXO. Okay, Alice is having, oh, I forgot to write her name. Alice. We have Alice, and Alice is having 5 Bitcoin UTXO. Okay. Now, suppose Alice wants to send 5 Bitcoin to Bob. Alice wants to send 5 Bitcoin to Bob. Alice wants to send 5 Bitcoin to Bob. So she is now willing to send. Now she is willing to send. So there will be an interface in front of Alice. There will be an interface in front of Alice. And it will contain two things. First is known as, I'm writing so just okay. Now we have two scripts here, two inbuilt scripts. First is known as script sig, and other is known as script pub key or public key. I have told you the full form, okay? So this is two things that are placed in stack. Stack means first you have to work with script sig, and then only you will be working with script public key. Okay. Now Alice has given 5 Bitcoin as input. Okay. Now Alice will see that there's a script which is known as script signature or scripts digital signature. It's just a private key of Alice. Private key of Alice. So now just imagine when Alice is willing to send 5 Bitcoin to Bob, there will be two scripts in front of Alice. First is known as script sig, and other known as script public key. Now Alice has to unlock. Alice has to unlock this script sig. So this is also known as unlocking script. I'll write it here. This is known as unlocking script. Why she has to unlock it? She has to unlock it so that she will now move to script public key. She will now move to script public key. So now Alice once apply her private key inside the script sig to unlock it. And why Alice has to do it? Why Alice has to do it? So Alice will have to do this because she has to told, she has to, she has to told the network, the Bitcoin network, the blockchain network, that this 5 Bitcoin belongs to me. Now I am unlocking it and will send it to Bob now. Okay, so Alice has to prove to the network. Alice will have to prove to this network that this 5 Bitcoin belongs to me. Okay, and see, guys, it's obvious. It's obvious. If I somehow, let's say I receive 5 Bitcoin from somewhere, that means I'm the owner of it. It's obvious that Mantav is the owner of those 5 Bitcoin because they are with my private key. Okay. Okay. So, but again, for the sake of network, okay, Alice has to prove herself. I mean, Alice has to prove her ownership of this 5 Bitcoin by applying her private key. Okay. As soon as Alice will apply her private key to the script sig, it will unlock. It will unlock, and then Alice will move to the second script. Alice will move to the second script. This is the first script, and this is the second script. Now Alice will check, Alice will see, oh, well, now what's script public key? What's script public key? If you guys remember cryptography, if you want to send someone a message, you need your public key. You need your public key to lock that message. You need someone's, you need recipient's public key to encrypt the message or to lock the message. So this is what Alice is doing. Alice is first unlocking it with her private key and then locking it, sorry, and then locking it with the public key of Bob. Okay. As soon as Alice mentions the public key of Bob, this 5 Bitcoin now will be received by Bob. Okay, now this will become Bob's. Now this will become Bob's UTXO. Okay. Okay. Now this will be same. This will be same. Suppose now Alice wants to send it to Oscar. Okay. So what will happen? There will be two scripts. Okay. First is again script sig. Another is script public key. Okay. Because the script sig will only be unlocked because if you guys can see it, this 5 Bitcoin was locked with public key of Bob. That means now only Bob can decrypt it. If you guys remember asymmetric cryptography, how will Bob decrypt the message using his private key, right? So this script sig will only be unlocked by Bob's private key because Alice logged it with Bob's public key. Remember cryptography, asymmetric cryptography. That's why I said asymmetric cryptography is really, really important because I guess most of you will be having this doubt how Bob is able to, unlock this script sig. Bob will able to do it because Alice encrypted the message or encrypted the transaction with Bob's public key. Now only the Bob's private key can decrypt the Bob's public key only. If you guys remember. Okay, so that's why this script sig will only be get unlocked with Bob's private key. Once it is unlocked, it's open. Now Bob will now encrypt it again using Oscar's public key. Now once it is encrypted with Oscar's public key, Oscar will receive this message peer to peer, and then only Oscar's private key can decrypt it. Okay, so your private key that shows your ownership. Okay, so now once done, it will belong to Oscar now. Okay, any doubt, guys? Let me just share a document. I have maintained another document for it. Just give me a second. Yes, Manikantha, script signature is just a digital signature. You have to apply your private key. Okay. Yeah, right. No, no, that's not the reason to be slow. Okay. If we have went through the previous solutions, what experts said, double encryption, that would be really slow. Okay. That's why we are using hashing. Everything is hashed. Private key is hashed. Public key is hashed so that they are in the short form. Encrypting a short message is much easy. Okay. I'll share my entire screen now. So I think my screen is visible to everyone. So this is the diagram. Okay, the same diagram. Okay. Now I'll read it for you guys. Alice must unlock the transaction. Please focus. Okay. Alice must unlock the transaction before she can relock it with Bob's key. Alice must unlock the transaction or the message before she can relock it with Bob's key. Now, to achieve this on the blockchain, Alice must prove to the blockchain. Here it's really important, guys. Alice must prove to the blockchain that she is the rightful owner of a transaction. Okay. Yeah, we know that it's obvious. If Alice is holding 5 Bitcoin, that means she is the rightful owner. But again, for the sake of network, we have to prove it. Okay, just for proving. So Alice must prove it to the blockchain network that she is the rightful owner of the transaction. Okay, and how she will do it? So to do this, her transaction script includes something called a script sig. This proves she is the owner and unlocks the transaction so that it can then relog with a new key. I'll read this again. This proves she is the owner and unlocks the transaction so that it can then relog with a new key. Again with Bob's public key, and this is called as script public key. This is called as script public key. Now I also told you that script pubsig is also called as the unlocking script because it unlocks the transaction for Alice. The script public key is also called as locking script because it relocks it with Bob's key. Okay. Now both these scripts form a guarantee. It forms a guarantee. So let's read this. It's really interesting. The two scripts work together to form a guarantee that Alice has the right to transact the value and that the Bob, only Bob, I have put a stress on here that Bob and only Bob will now have control of it because it's logged with Bob's public key. Okay, it's easier to think of a transaction in terms of three transactions. The transaction from Alice to Bob references the transaction that moved ownership of the coins to Alice. That also must be coming from another person. So before Alice got this 5 Bitcoin, before Bob got this 5 Bitcoin from Alice, Alice must have received this 5 Bitcoin from someone else as well. Okay, let's say from John. The raw code in Alice transaction to Bob includes the transaction ID of the previous transaction as well. Okay, let's say from John to Alice. Alice must prove in script sig that she can take control of the transaction. It's obvious because it was logged with Alice public key by John. She can take control of the transaction from John and then she then locks the transaction so that Bob will need to do the same. Bob will need to do the same to move the coins forward. Okay. Now I think the last paragraph. Script sig is processed first. I told you they are placed in stack. Okay. Script sig is processed first and placed on a stack. Okay, and then script public key uses the value and carries out a series of processes including Bob's public key to create the locking value. Now only Bob's subsequent script sig or the private key or the digital signature will agree with the value in the transaction. Okay, they will agree. I mean the private key will agree with the value in the transaction, enabling him to control it. Enabling him to control it. So now why it's really important from forensic side. Okay, because in forensic we have to understand everything. So these scripts are really important. So when I was learning blockchain, normally I haven't read about the scripts before. But when I was into digital forensic, I got to know about these files in depth. That these are the actual working of a transaction. I mean, these are the scripts. Okay, so we have to try to find out these scripts and everything. Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay, I'll share this document. Oh, is it showing? How did you guys got to know my laptop's battery is low? Oh, okay, okay. All right. Yeah, thank you, Pavan. I'll charge it. Okay. I think no doubt we understood. Okay, that's the most important thing. Okay, the transaction scripts. Yeah, I'll share the document. It will be updated on LMS. Okay. Now let's meet after 10 minutes. Okay, let's meet after 10 minutes. Okay, shall we start now? Everybody's back. Just do this. I'll start the session. All right. Now, now let's talk about a concept which is known as DAO. Ever heard about this before? DAO, DAO, DAO. This is the use case, guys. Okay, this is the use case. What screen is visible? Yes, decentralized autonomous organization. So, what is a decentralized autonomous organization? Any idea? Okay. All right, let's start now. So, DAO or the decentralized autonomous organization is a concept in blockchain. Okay. Now, to understand it, let's see the conventional system. Let's see a company. Okay. We need exactly decision making not centralized. If you consider a company or an organization, there are a lot of compliances, there are a lot of regulatory compliances, right? A company should have board of directors, a company should have this and that and everything. It's a hectic process. I started my NGO. It took me 2 months to register my NGO. Okay, so process is slow. There are a lot of compliances, okay, which are mandatory to follow. Okay, and everything is centralized. Everything is centralized in a company. Okay, now now when this idea came of decentralized autonomous organization, people are creating a company, but in a decentralized manner. In a decentralized manner mean there's no hierarchy, there's no board of directors, there's no CEO, there's nothing. There's only one thing, which is the smart contract, which is just a smart contract. Okay, which is where it's just a smart contract. Here we have a smart contract, and this smart contract is with everyone. Suppose there are various people. Okay, that means a decentralized autonomous organization. Here, there's no single person, there's not a group of person who is controlling it. Instead, we have a smart contract, okay, where everybody just have to trust it, okay. So we are not directly trusting a human, instead we are trusting a smart contract, okay, which has some predefined conditions that are to be met. Okay, so this is a kind of company where you don't need a lot of compliances. Okay, you don't need a hierarchy system and anything. Here you just have to create a smart contract, and that smart contract will be on a decentralized network. Now if the person, I mean, suppose if there's an idea, suppose there's a particular purpose of a smart contract. Now people around the world, if they have the same mindset, if they think the same way, they can join it and be a part of it. Okay, now there's a responsibility of everyone here. Or everyone have voting mechanism here, everyone have governance mechanism here. That means people can vote here. Okay, on the basis of that, decisions are made. Now let's take a real example. So there was a DAO by the name the Constitution DAO. the Constitution DAO. Okay, so a community created a smart contract that said this Constitution DAO will be inviting participants, will be inviting people with the same mindset, and here we will be buying. We will be buying, or we will be investing to America's original constitution. So that was their idea, to buy America's original constitution. Okay, the first copy, you can call it as the first copy of the original constitution. So that was their main purpose. So a community created, a DAO community created, okay, where every person around the world with the same mindset that yes, I want to buy America's first copy, not first, but the first original constitution. Okay, so people started investing into such smart contract. Now they had a target. Suppose, for every fundraising system, there's a target. Suppose I want a fundraising of, let's say, 1 crore rupees. Okay, 1 crore rupees. So now people will invest into my project till it reaches to 1 crore. If it doesn't reaches to 1 crore, this is my responsibility to refund all the money back to the people who have invested into. That's the rule. That's the rule. Okay. If you are not able to if you are not able to reach your target, just refund the amount. Okay. So similarly happened with this constitution DAO. They created an idea. Many people invested into. Okay. They actually they were able to they were actually able to reach the target as well. Okay. But in last they failed because there was an auction system for this constitution. So they lost there. But the thing is, what's important here is that even it's not a company, they were able to successfully created a fundraising system. Okay, for got a crowdfunding of more than, I guess, I'm forgetting the value, but it was a really large value. Okay, so I'll show you their example. I'll show you their website, the Constitution DAO. So it's all about the craze. It's all about the people with the same mindset. Okay. Otherwise, who will buy the Constitution? All right. Now this is their original website. If you guys can read it, they are showing refunds are now available. You have two choices. So now this DAO it's ended. It's ended now. Okay, but we'll read it. So to understand on how exactly DAO work. Okay, so I think let's go here. Constitution DAO 21 to 21. It lasted for only 1 year. Was a beautiful experiment in a single purpose DAO. Single purpose mean they were only having a one single purpose, to buy the constitution. We now believe this project has run its course. The community has taken all actions that it was organized to accomplish. We raised capital, we bid at South by, and upon losing, we made full refunds available to the community as promised. Okay, they failed in the auction. They were able to actually raise the capital, but during the auction, they lost. Okay, having lost the auction and following the core team's choice to win down, we would like to remind you that the token possesses no right, no governance or utility other than just redeeming them. For Ethereum, from the smart contract held in juice box at the ratio 1 lakh is equal to 1 Ethereum. So that was the ratio. The same ratio at which contributions were made to the initial crowd fund to buy the constitution. Okay. It's also an option to keep your people token and do with them as you please. It is clear that there are part of the community who wish to incorporate them into the future project. Constitution DAO cannot and will not endorse any future plans of this token. Nothing in here is financial advice. Do your own research. Okay, and if I show you guys how much they were able to raise. Okay, so the group raised more than $47 million. I'll show you here. If you guys can read it here, the group raised $47 million in Ether cryptocurrency, but lost to a bid of 43.2 million in the South by auction. So they lost it. Okay, they lost in the auction, but their purpose of not yeah their purpose failed. But what important is they were able to raise $47 million using a company which is not actual company, but it's a decentralized company where you don't need anybody to control it. You just have to trust the code there. It just provides a trust in a trustless environment. Okay, because people believed it. People believed in the concept of this DAO. It's on a blockchain. It's transparent. So people invested into such project. Okay. So this was one of the prominent project of the DAO. I know their idea was not that spectacular, but again, they did and they were 99 successful. Okay. So that's the story of the Constitution DAO. All right. Now there's another story which is by the name the NBA Top Shot. NBA Top Shot. Ever imagine buying your or giving sponsoring your own and let's say any sports team? Okay, because if you see conventionally, all the big players, all the big organizations, the big companies are the ones who they sponsor any sports league. Take the example of IPL. Every IPL team has a sponsor. Take the example of Royal Challenger Bangalore. They have Royal Stag, Royal Challengers, Royal Stag. I don't know what's the name. Okay, similarly, I think Mumbai Indians have the Geo or Reliance. So there are organizations, there are companies who are sponsoring it, who are sponsoring the sports league, or who are sponsoring the team. Now, a DAO decided that let's buy our own NBA team. Let's buy our own NBA team. Okay, so again they created a smart contract. Now people with the same mindset visited their platform. They got to know about this project and they started investing into it. Okay, and they were actually able to buy their own NBA team. Just imagine this. Okay, a decentralized company where there's no CEO, CMO, CFO, but a decentralized network that totally works on a code. Okay, were able to do this because there's no regulatory compliances or the rules and protocol. They have to follow it and making a procedure really slow. They just did it. People around the world, they invested into the project and it was so easy. Okay, so if I show their website, now they are totally working on the engagement. I'll show you. It's really interesting. They are now selling NFTs for all the what do I say? All the highlight moments that happens in the game. Okay, so they are creating their NFTs and selling for very good price. So this is their website, NBA Top Shot, a beta collectible. A collector just bought $20,000 Luka Doncic moment. Start collecting. So this is their NFTs. People can buy it. If I show you one of them, and if I show you the top purchases, see the top purchase $20,000 just for a video. I'll show this video. I know I'm not into NBA, so I cannot relate to it. But this is the moment. This is the NFT they created, and it went for $20,000. $20,000. So now that person owns this NFT. Nobody can show it on TV or anywhere else without the permission of the buyer. Okay. So this is what NBA Top Shot it started as a DAO. They are still a DAO. Okay, they are just selling NFTs now. They are just selling the highlight moments, creating NFTs for it. Okay. When I last visited this website, the highest purchase was $16,000, but now it got increased to $20,000. Oops. Is my screen visible? Just let me know. No, Madhav, I don't follow NBA. I think my screen is not visible, right? Yeah, it's now right. Okay. So what I showed you right now? Yeah, this one. Top purchases, $20,000. $20,000. So it was purchased by this Lakers 8, blah blah blah. Okay. $20,000. $20,000. We can imagine. Oh, what's happening? It's not going back again. Exactly. Seems like we create value for anything. Yeah, exactly. I think somebody mentioned it as well in the first session. Anything of a value can be traded on blockchain. That's right. It should have some value. Yes, yes, Mama. That's why Ethereum it's for developers. Yes, that's right. Double the replay attack or double counting. That's true. We'll discuss that as well. Yes, Nilesh, we're going to see Ethereum as well. Okay. Okay, so these were the two prominent projects that I really liked. The Constitution DAO, the NV Top Shop. Much better than what other NFTs are doing. The kitties, I think you must have seen that the Crypto Kitties project. Yes, Madhav, can we consider sports as exactly? It's happening. It will be shared with you Abhay, soon. So this is their website. Crypto Kitties, all the Zen. Play now. Collect and breed forever friends. Okay. So view the catalog. So these are their okay. These are their NFTs. You can buy it. Okay. But I don't know any. What's the purpose behind them? Just buying these digital arts. But again, it's all about the craze. It's all about the craze. Okay. Much better. Much better. Constitution DAO was a really good project. Even this NBA Top Shot is doing great. Okay. So there are various projects. If you open OpenSea it is right. I'm not able to get the name. Yeah. This is also a place where you can buy NFTs or sell it. Okay. Sleep doll. My God. Only one. The UI changed completely now. You know what was the reason behind Solana boom? Because most of the meme coins are created on this Solana. Okay, Solana is much easier. Okay, it's really fast as compared to Ethereum. So most of the meme coins are in the you see in the market belongs to Solana only. So that's why it was the main reason. Okay, exactly. Okay, I'll repeat it again. So Solana is again a blockchain like Ethereum where you can create your own decentralized solution. So most of the meme coins you see that Trump launched its own meme coin. Similarly, there are various meme coins that are that are implemented on Solana. So when their meme coins were rising, the Solana was rising. Okay. Yeah, Nili, that is what I was saying. Show that there is a value and sell it. Meme coin. Okay, I'll show you some meme coin. There's a meme coin Pepe. I think you must have heard about Pepe coin. We have we have there are various in the market. Okay, I don't think so. They have their own website or kind of thing. Okay, let's see. Trending meme coins. Dogecoin. Yeah, the biggest example is the Dogecoin. The original meme coin that started it all. Dogecoin remains a favorite among investors and continues to have a strong community backing. Now, Dogecoin got famous due to Elon Musk. Elon Musk hyped it up that it's one of my favorite coin. People started buying it. Okay. Shiba Inu, often referred to as the Dogecoin killer, Shiba Inu has gained insignificant traction and remains popular in the meme coin space. We have Pepe coin, we have Bitcoin Hyper, Token 6900. Their website is really good, Token 6900 if you visit their website. Okay. Wall Street Pepe and Snotterbot. So there are various. Okay. Even if you you know it sounds funny Dogecoin, but if you see the full form of Dogecoin, it's like Department of Government or something. Okay, so I guess Trump has said that there will be a council for Dogecoin as well, a council for Bitcoin, a council for Dogecoin. So let's see what's going to happen. But I guess there's some conflict between Trump and Musk right now. Okay. So these are meme coins, which I really don't like. I'm really not in the favor of these meme coins. Because when I see all these things, I feel blockchain is not being utilized with its full potential. Okay. What future is? I discussed tokenization of uranium, tokenization of whiskey, gold, diamond, real estate properties. Okay. Even the market which is always considered as illiquid can be now converted into liquid market using blockchain technology. Whiskey is a liquid market, right? Uranium is a illiquid market. Okay. Now everybody can invest into such projects. Okay. Exactly. Nilesh, I am not getting you. Ton. Okay, so Ton is a net. It's a coin by Telegram. Telegram shifted their working on blockchain. So they introduced this Toin coin. The main reason was because they want fundraising. So people bought their token, okay, and this is how they use that capital for the Telegram's working for its welfare. It's like a IPO system. Why a company releases their IPO for the first time? Sorry, their shares for the first time in the market, so that they can take the capital from public and uh, you know use those funds for the welfare of the company. So this is what Telegram did. Telegram Telegram shifted their working to blockchain. They issued these. Sorry, they didn't airdrop this. They actually did ICO for it. Yeah, they did ICO for it. Okay. So people invested into Ton and that money went to Telegram and for its functioning. But now we have a hallmark said why no one trusts every time it changes. Exactly. But now with the kind of tokenization, we can certify and verify that gold is of certain quality. Exactly, Nilesh. Exactly. If you look at the project Tether Gold, so this is what they are doing. Tether Gold. I'm writing the name here. Tether Gold. Okay, this is what they're doing. They are, they are putting gold into their reserves and then tokenizing it. Okay. Madhav, because I really like this subject, I felt that it could solve various problems. Okay, various problems that we see conventionally, and with the help of blockchain, we can solve it. I'm right now trying to integrate blockchain into agriculture, so that's my purpose right now. Okay, helping farmers, helping environment with that, because there's a very good project, and I want you guys to look at it. It's known as Web3 Eco. Web3 Eco. It's a very good project. I want you guys to visit their website. Okay, so they are totally working for environment. So I want to use blockchain for maintaining transparency. Okay, right now there's a lot of going regarding the voting system in India, and I guess Bihar is the first state who implemented blockchain based voting system using Polygon. If you guys read about this news. Okay, we want transparency, right? We want transparency. We have RT in right to information. Yeah, the RTI Act. But again, everything is hidden from us. Okay, everything is hidden from us. All right, and I guess with this new laws that have came up right now, these the that regulate sports and this online gaming sector, they have excluded BCCI from RTI. They have excluded BCCI from RTI. That means if you want to ask something to a BCCI, you will not get the answer because it's excluded from RTA, the right to information. Okay, so that's something which is not really good. Okay, sir, present link. Uh, Amasa, can you provide them with the attendance link?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that's the reason. That's the reason I am into blockchain. Any other doubt, guys? So there are various such applications we'll discuss tomorrow as well. Tomorrow we'll focus more on healthcare. Okay, on how blockchain is uh, doing wonders in the healthcare field. Okay, and same with supply chain management. Okay, even how Indian government is using blockchain for drug traceability system, land registry system. I already told you. Okay, so they are implementing this drug traceability system as well. Okay. Okay, I guess we are good to go for today. All right. Let's meet tomorrow. Good night, guys. There's a lot remaining, Nilesh, right now. We have to see various blockchain fundraising mechanisms, and then we have various kinds of tokens in the market. Okay, then we have to cover this RWA tokenization as well, which is the future. Apart from this, a very important thing which is the CBDC, central bank digital currency, okay, which we will be covering, Ethereum and smart contracts. Okay. Vinod, sir, stable coin versus CBDC. It's a big concept, but in short, I'll tell you. Stable coin is not regulated. Stable coin is not regulated, right? And stable coin is totally decentralized. But when you talk about CBDC, central bank digital currency, or in India, it's known as e-rupee. Okay, it's bit centralized. Why? Because RBI has the ledger. This ledger, this blockchain technology, which is supposed to be decentralized, but when we talk about CBDC, it's centralized with only RBI. Okay, apart from this, everything is same that we see in the working of cryptocurrency. Okay, e-rupee notes are in the form of tokens, so it's a token based model. So we'll understand yeah, we'll understand everything. Okay, so that's the basic difference. Stablecoin is not regulated, CBDC is regulated. Tether, Tether, the stable coin is totally decentralized. CBDC is not totally decentralized. Okay, and also There's no regulatory body who owns or who governs this stablecoin. But when we talk about CBDC is directly under the onus of RBI, the Reserve Bank of India. Okay. Tomorrow we have class, sir. Yes, we have. Then can you say about the topic applications in present days? Sorry, Tejaswini, I'm not getting you. Then can you say about the topic applications in the present days, in the future? About blockchain. Okay, so you mean how is blockchain utilizing right now? What are the applications right now in the market? This is what you want to ask to me? Yeah, see, I'll be telling you what currently the blockchain space is, okay, and what's the future as well. All right. CBDC is the present time. Okay, this tokenization of uranium that we studied in the last session, it's the present time. Okay, that Assam Gamosa that we read yesterday, it's the present time. Okay, so all these are the applications that are live right now. Yes, Madhav. See, what I felt is blockchain, blockchain is made for the finance. Okay, it's the technology for finance. And the best use cases till now, I have found out that we have stablecoin. Stablecoin is one of the biggest use case of blockchain. Okay. Apart from it, RW, the real world asset tokenization. See, Madhav, again, cybersecurity is a field which is required everywhere. We have to secure blockchain networks as well, which is really, really important, right? Because when we talk about blockchain, the blockchain is just a network. So we have to provide network security as well, right? And again, it's based on cryptography. Also, in the future, we need post-quantum cryptography as well. Okay, that resist against quantum attacks, right? And apart from it, if you are into coding, so we have to protect smart contracts as well. Okay, so smart contract auditing, okay, it's security, everything is really, really important. So I never say that Web3 can is something new. Web3 is not something new. All the jobs that were in Web2 are the same in Web3. The only difference is you should know what blockchain technology is. Otherwise, everything is same. We have front end here, we have Python, JavaScript, everything here. Okay, the only difference it's on a decentralized network. So cyber security, AI, IoT is really used in blockchain because when we talk about the real world data, so how blockchain will be getting this real world data from IoT devices. Okay, so to understand, we have to read about the projects. Okay, that's really, really important. Karthik, like I told you about this voting system. So voting system can be created using smart contract. So we'll see on how we can create our own smart contract on Ethereum. Okay. So at that time, you will understand on how exactly we create decentralized applications. Okay. Nilesh, please tell again what I have to tell. IoT means Internet of Technology. Suppose, okay, I'll take an example. Suppose I created a smart contract for agriculture for the farmers. Okay, where they will be getting compensation for, let's say, for the when their produce is getting affected due to the weather. Okay, so how will they claim it? How will I get to know that the weather is the main reason behind behind uh, their produce getting affected from it? Okay, so smart contract will use this IoT to check every parameter of the weather. It could be rain, it could be anything, it could be again a thunder, all right, it could be hailstorm. So this live data should be inside blockchain as well. Okay, so it will help farmers to compensate or to get their what do we say, the insurance, do they claim the insurance? Okay, so everything should be trusted, right? So this is what IoT is doing. Okay. AI enabled projects, I don't think so we have in blockchain. Blockchain and AI can be worked together to, to provide more accurate data. Because in blockchain, accuracy is really important. What you are inserting into blockchain, it will there forever. So we have to make sure that the data we are that the data we are storing inside the blockchain should be accurate. So with the help of AI, we can check the accuracy of the data. Okay, so they can work together. Cybersecurity is the field which cannot be neglected in any space. Okay, in any space, could be AI, blockchain, IoT, everywhere it's really important. Okay, because if you guys see, we have at autonomous or we sorry, driverless cars. Okay, so now there were various allegations. Suppose there's an accident, so who will be responsible for this? Okay, so this was a question that was raised by a cybersecurity lawyer who is into cyber law. All right, so cybersecurity is really important. What if that car got hacked? Okay, and is manipulated. Because now in that class we actually learning how to hack car. Where you are learning to hack a car? Nilesh, all these agriculture, I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, yeah, see, it's happening, it's happening. Alice is transferred internet data. Alice problems accepted a Bob, sir. I'm not getting you, Ekanta. Take a look at riser.ap. Okay, let's check. Vinod sir is saying. So what this company is doing, sir? It's a gaming experience. Okay, I'll check it, sir. I'll check it. So yeah, even blockchain is used in gaming space as well. Okay, it's a real world asset tokenization. Okay, it could be. There are various Indian companies that are tokenizing real estate. Okay, so we'll see all these use cases. Okay, and every industrial applications that are out in the market right now. Okay, all right, guys. I guess I've taken all the doubts here. Ekant, I'm not getting your doubt. Okay, so you can ask me tomorrow. Good night, everyone.